got people asking me what I want on my sandwich. Hey, just hook it up. All right. Why'd you click it off? That was natural.
Would you be quiet? We were starting a video. This cat, he was doing the motions. I said, just be quiet. I know what I'm doing.
Make ham, turkey, cheese. Let me see. Pepperonis and mayo and a little bit of mustard.
And we're back. This is the LUKE-N-SHAE'S place. LUKE-N-SHAE'S place reaction. We came across an interesting story this morning that caught our interest. Actually, it caught Shay's interest. We already started. We came to
That was just a little bit of okay. I'm all right. Here we go. Hi, Luke. Welcome back to LUKE-N-SHAE'S place. Go ahead, finish talking. I'll go ahead.
No, I'm giving you. I want to talk over that music. Go ahead. I do mine with.
All right, go ahead, Luke.
Go ahead. You got it. I'm stepping back. You can talk to the music.
I like the music. Luke said I could play the music, so here we go. And we're back with another reaction video. Welcome back to LUKE-N-SHAE'S place. Great to have Luke back and do our darn thing together. We have a banger reaction video for you, just like Luke mentioned. So looking forward to that, and I hope everybody's had a great week, and I'm ready to get started. But before we begin, Luke, can you tell them what they should do before we begin?
You're supposed to like, subscribe, and share. But see, I gave you the hand position. You got to do that.
So yeah, just like Luke said, if you like the content we're sharing, please like, because that puts us in the algorithm so that other viewers can find us here on our platform. So if you like the content, please hit that like button, and also comment. Your comments, we definitely look forward to your comments. Yes, your comments. Yes, we'll reply to your comments, and subscribe. Subscribe is also free, and click that notification bell because it gives you notifications when we'll be doing our posting. And that's about it. Let's get started. Okay, so we're reacting to this video. Yeah, this is a video we ran across. We had one of our viewers that sent us in this video, told us about this, and we actually looked into it. So we wanted to do a reaction on it for you guys. So while Luke is getting that started, got some good weather here. Hope everybody's enjoying their weekend so far. Stay safe, wear your smile out there. Stay positive.
This one's going to blow your mind, even in today's world. A white couple who enslaved black adopted kids charged. 63-year-old Donald Ray Lance and 62-year-old Jean K. Whitefeather, a white couple from Sissonville, West Virginia, are back behind bars after a judge revoked their initial bond and raised it to $500,000 apiece. more than double the amount they faced last year when police arrested them on charges of locking their adopted black children in a barn and forcing them to work as slaves. The couple was ordered here in court on June 11th, more than 8 months after each posted a $200,000.
Wait a minute. They got in trouble before, and they were able to do it again.
Did I hear that correctly? Because that's what it sounded like.
They said, well, they got in trouble before for locking them in the barn. Let me rewind.
More than double the amount they faced last year when police arrested them on charges of locking their adopted black children in a barn and forcing them to work as slaves. The couple was ordered to reappear in court on June 11th, more than 8 months after each posted a $200,000 bond following their arrest.
Now that is some strange stuff. I just wonder how that play out, because, like I said, I'm not gonna hype on the color of these people, because I think no matter what color this was, them are some sick individuals.
Yeah.
But that and stuff that it happened more than once. I'm hoping that they get some more clarity to that.
Yeah, they have to, because I doubt that if they already got in trouble for that they would have even given those kids back to them. So I'm wondering if they were released, maybe they made bail and they had to wait till their court date, because that's crazy.
Many people benefiting from this program called Indisputable. We just need 1% of the viewers to become a paid member so we can continue to bring this content to you.
He's promoting himself.
We're right on the heels of Juneteenth. I don't know why they were out to reappear in the first place. You're going back to slave days. Some people maybe need to be locked up pending adjudication here. And I don't like to lock people up, but some people, they do. Apparently, those are the allegations.
Well, that's Sharon Reed.
Police were conducting a wellness check at the Cheyenne Lane home October 2nd, 2023, when they were shocked to discover two of the couple's 5 adopted children living in deplorable conditions. Children had been padlocked inside a ramshackle storage shed on the back of the property, which had no working lights.
See, I'm beginning to wonder, is this story actually real, or I don't know. This
yeah, it's actually real. This is crazy. They were in that shed with no lights, just locked in there. 2 out of 5 kids. Okay, yeah.
Some people maybe need to be locked up pending adjudication here. And I don't like to lock people up, but some people, they do. Apparently, those are the allegations. Police were conducting a wellness check at the Cheyenne Lane home October 2nd, 2023, when they were shocked to discover 2 of the couple's 5 adopted children living in deplorable conditions. Children had been padlocked inside a ramshackle storage shed on the back of the property, which had no working lights or water. You understand why I don't think they deserve bond?
I'm more concerned with how long. Yeah, this is horrific. It is scary, but by the same token, that this was allowed to go on for all of this time, though. It still went on.
Yeah,
it's a amount of time.
Yeah.
The police showed up, and this is what they say they discovered. These children were identified only as a 14-year-old boy and a 16-year-old girl. Third child, identified as a 9-year-old girl, was confined to a loft inside the main house, away from the presence of the adults.
I wonder, did the kids go to school? They didn't go, because these kids are old enough to talk about what's going on.
They're old enough to talk about it. And you want to know something? When there's a lot of people out here who do homeschooling, so that could have been their out, which is why they might not have been going to school.
That's why I asked the question, were they going to school?
They could have. I would like to know that, because I know at 14, 16, all you got to do is just say something to the teacher, and that could have been a case closed already. So they probably kept them
from
home.
Other siblings, police said, according to reports. Atlanta Black Star filling in more. At the initial court hearing in October, Lance and White Feather pleaded not guilty, and Kanawha County Circuit Judge Mary Claire Akers set bond at $200,000 in each. Too low. That's too low.
I know 200,000. That is what? Well, it ain't. Well, that is.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. Yeah.
Couple made bail in February, were released to await trial. They remained free for several months, but in May, a grand jury indicted the couple on more than a dozen new charges. Most serious being human trafficking of a minor child, which prompted the judge to revoke the lower bond, ordering the couple held in lieu of $1 million. Along with human trafficking and neglect with serious risk of bodily injuries or death, I don't find the bond to be sufficient, Akers told defense attorneys during the second bond hearing.
That this is deplorable. This is. If I didn't see this, I would think this was not real.
Yeah, it's a
unreal.
shame. It's sad. That's sad. It's sad.
Upgraded charges included alleged use of a minor child in forced labor, child neglect, creating a substantial risk of serious bodily injury or death, as well as false swearing, potential civil rights violations based on color, race, or ancestry, according to documents. Indictment suggests that 3 of the 5 adopted children were Black and that the human rights charges stem from those children being specifically targeted and forced to work because of their race.
Ugh.
Where do they get stuff like this? I'm trying to find out where they found this at. This is absolutely crazy.
Yeah. No, I didn't hear this until right now. I didn't hear anybody talking about this. This is sad. It's what the heck?
Police reported that a small RV toilet seat was placed in a barn for the children to use. At the second bond hearing, Whitefeather described the barn as a teenage clubhouse and claimed the children weren't locked in. However, neighbors disputed this, stating the children were forced to do farm labor and weren't allowed inside the residence, according to the indictment.
Why didn't some of the neighbors rescue these kids?
That's what I'm saying. I think the neighbors, it's like, okay, you're seeing this. So if you saw 5 kids, right, and 3 of them were Black and then the other 2 might have been white, but all I'm seeing is the Black kids outside working, I would start being nosy a little bit. Like, okay, what's going on over there? And if I'm seeing that those kids are being put in some barn and they're never coming out, what kind of clubhouse is that? It's
just a clubhouse. That's, like I say, let's listen on.
I think we know who turned them in. Thank you.
So the neighbors eventually did tell them.
When rescued, 16-year-old girl told deputies they had been locked in the barn for about 12 hours, having last eaten at sunrise. According to Deputy H.K. Burdett, the children couldn't exit, requiring deputies to force entry inside the...
Oh.
Wow. I'm going to keep going.
Oh, that's so bad. That's so bad. You get adopted. You finally get a family, and then this is done to you.
Yeah, it's
That's horrible. That's so horrible.
This is one of the stories I'm shading even listeners to. This is crazy. But like I said, I don't care what color they are, but being that they are a white couple that's doing this, and it's not with the connection with slavery with Black people. I don't want to shade no light to say everybody thinks this way or that mindset runs deep within them. But at the same time, if this was a Black couple doing this, it would just be just as sick. But this is some sick
and
stuff.
It would have, and I believe 100% you would have heard about it too.
Well, like I said, there's some sick stuff. No matter what color, a couple, a husband or wife, in a loving relationship, to do this type of deplorable things
to adopt kids. They're not even just your foster kids, and that's bad all of itself. You actually adopted these kids, and they thinking they're getting a family. You adopted them to do this.
I'm more concerned with, did they ask for black kids in particular?
That's what I'm concerned with, because it seemed like the three of them were separated from the other kids. They kept the 9-year-old in the house, but she was stuck on a loft away from the other family members. What is going on?
I'm more concerned, did they go to the adoption agency asking for, in particular, black kids? That's what I was concerned with. I'm more concerned with it was this, because now that makes it even more bad. It makes it worse that if they went to the adoption agency with the mindset,
with the intent to do this,
with the intent to do that right there.
Yeah.
Inside, they encountered a disturbing smell and intense heat due to poor ventilation.
Oh.
According to court papers, both children appeared feral, dirty, reeking of body odor, while the boy had open sores on his bare feet. Children told investigators they were forced to sleep on a bare concrete floor, no mattress, no covers.
See, that's what I'm saying. Now, the agency that allowed these kids to go with these people, what was the criteria for these people to, being that they had to go in there and ask for black kids? And you have to meet a criteria to actually adopt kids. It's not like they're just passing out kids, like you come in and go, I need a child. What was the background work on these people prior to that?
And see, and that's what I'm concerned with. But my thing is, you're good, right? Until you're deemed bad. So they probably passed everything with a flying whistle. Everything probably checked out, and then this was a side that the agency didn't know.
No, but I was looking at it. Well, maybe the people know them, and again, I don't like to use the white privilege thing, but this could have been a white privilege thing. Well, you know what? I know you, and I know you. I just can't see where they investigated these people before they gave these people these kids.
They couldn't have, because somebody knew somewhere. You didn't just become like that. You already were like that before you got these kids. So nobody in the community knew.
Hold on. See, you got to go out there to the house to see, and they had things already in place at the house. They just constructed those things.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. When you go and do an investigation, you go out there and investigate the people. You go to the house. These things are already constructed. So again, that's what I'm asking. It sounds like, what was
from what they're saying? I don't know when they adopted these kids, but it sounded like they had white kids in the house as well. So, but what I'm concerned with is nobody in the community knew that these people were like that. Nobody knew that they.
I'm talking about before they even gave these people. These things are already constructed. So when we go out there and investigate, we're looking at these things like, what are they used for? And so that's what I'm saying. You have to explain to them. And then with the smell that was radiating from the place, there's going to be a conversation.
So once you adopt kids, they don't. Okay, so when kids are in foster care, the state can come out and do spot checks. But when you adopt those kids, they no longer come out. When you're adopted, they do not come out.
Okay, what I'm saying to you is this, and I don't want to talk too long on here, but what I'm saying again is if I had 2 buildings constructed and I didn't have anything to go in the building, and again, then that would be a subject of discussion. So I was only talking about the points of how did they get the kids. Being that you asking for black kids, quote unquote, and you make black kids a slave. Maybe, but you said they had white kids too. So that they just went in for kids, and the black kids
they were available. They probably said, "Well, I have this." Who knows if they're all siblings? They probably said, "I have a family of 3, a boy and 2 girls, 116." I don't know what age they got. They probably just said yes. Okay, we'll take them. They probably just said yes.
What I'm saying is they still were just adopting kids, and in the process of adopting the kids, they got the black kids, but the black kids they made slaves out of.
Yeah,
so I was thinking they were going to the adoption agency with the notion of getting black kids.
I wonder if they asked for them. That's a good question.
No, but you just said they had white kids, so I'm assuming.
Well, yeah, they had white kids already, but I don't know if that's their biological kids. It don't say. It says that, okay, they have a total of 5 kids and 3 of those children were black, and they say that the black kids were adopted. So I don't know. Those other kids might be their biological children.
Okay, well, that's different. Then if they were going and asking, and then the person that come out to investigate, okay, they didn't investigate the construction things they had sit there constructed for this behavior, and that's what I'm saying. So that's where the question came: well, how did they get these kids?
That's crazy, though.
You see the picture. That's evidence shown during the court hearing. Police remained at the house for 3 hours before Lance arrived home with an 11-year-old boy. When authorities checked the home for other potential victims, they found the 9-year-old holed up in a loft. Lance was placed under arrest. About an hour later, White Feather returned home, guided deputies to another 6-year-old girl who was visiting with another couple from their church.
From their church.
See, they were church people.
From their church.
Scary.
Church, I say. Just a little detail. Church?
Okay.
During the latest bond hearing, Kanawha County prosecutors argued that the couple's original cash bonds were likely obtained through trafficking profits, pointing to the fact that the couple produced the $400,000 bond despite a lack of obvious means to do so.
Now that's scary right there, because they were able to produce $400,000 bond. See, although they didn't have anything worth that amount, or didn't.
That wow, looks like the community came together for them. That's what it sounded like.
No,
they took up an extra offering at church. Is what it sounded like.
Bond in this circumstance, they're a threat. At the same proceeding, Lance and White Feather claimed they possessed no income or assets, raising questions about the source of the funds for their bond.
See, that in itself sounds scary. I don't try no church. We're going to go a little deeper than that, sister, but I'm going to leave that alone.
Kanawha County Assistant Prosecuting Attorney Christopher Pravanya characterized the money posted for the couple's release as contraband directly or indirectly used or intended to use to violate human trafficking laws. Seize it. Seize it. Just seize it. Don't give it back. Early February, the couple sold an 80-acre ranch in Tonnesket, Washington for $725,000. Days later, White Feather's brother, Marcus Hughes, posted 2 bonds for $200,000 to release the couple from the South Central Regional Jail. Ravonyak said they have since sold the Sissonville home, where they were arrested, for $295,000.
That house is.
The court seized all funds. Thank you. As
do you have old pictures?
Court seized all funds. Thank you. As potential human trafficking profits, making them inaccessible to the defendants. Prosecutors argue that regardless of the fund sources, their use was meant to support human trafficking and forced labor. Akers also remarked that the case was unlike any other she had heard during her entire career as a judge. It alleges human trafficking, human rights violations, the use of forced labor, Akers said, according to reports. Human rights violations specific to the fact that these children were targeted because of their race and they were used basically as slaves, what the indictment alleges. Both Lance and White Feather pleaded not guilty to the charges in the indictment. However, they remain in jail as they have been unable to meet the higher bond amount. Next court appearance scheduled for September 9. You know we're going to follow this one.
How are you going to say you're not guilty?
Well, they're not guilty. You can claim whatever you want to claim, though.
You're going to call that a clubhouse, and they in there unbathed. These kids weren't being bathed. The boy had sores on his feet. They, you know, where is that? And I'm assuming they saw a difference between the kids in the house and then those kids, and maybe the little girl in the loft that was black that they kept away from the family. You can see a difference, and you're going to say not guilty.
Like I say.
And you got witnesses. The neighbors are saying that they was out there working the fields pretty much in the farm. The black kids were. That's
Like I said, I don't even want to hear no more of this story. This more story in itself is beyond me.
it's disturbing.
Those, at this stage of the game, I guess we shouldn't be surprised at what is the alleged conduct of another being. It's hard for me to say human being in a case like this. Are you surprised at all the detail here, the sick conditions?
Well, when you see a level of abuse this sadistic and systematic, oftentimes these folks, they think, look, we got these kids basically from the state, off of adoption and things of that nature. These are people that nobody cares about. And so we can go about whatever the hell it is we want to do to these people.
And see, that's what I state a lot of times.
Shame.
When you're in that system like that, yeah, it's sort of like that whole comparison with the prostitute. And like we used to talk about was the black serial killer, and he went after like prostitutes. That's the person that's less likely that people gonna care about. And when kids are adopted, that does go through a lot of the people's mindset if they don't sell kids.
Because it's not their kids. It's not their biological kids. So, yeah.
And so you feel compelled to do whatever they want to do to these kids. And that's the scary part. Because like I said, when you're getting adopted by people that you don't know, they ain't related to you, it can be very crazy. But like I said, a lot of times though, in the black community, we tend to, like family members tend to adopt those, the kids within the family. Somebody knows,
Yeah, that happened to me. So, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had my upstairs neighbor was the same way.
Because nobody's going to follow up. Nobody's going to think about the well-being of these young children. Of course, their race being a very big part of it, but also, as you know, like again, just generally the backgrounds of people who end up being put up for adoption is disenfranchised, right? Regardless of race. Then you add the factor of race in America, particularly for black people, on top of this marginalized group of young people, and you can get something like this where people feel emboldened to do something this so obviously illegal and vile. I don't think you can separate those factors from the commission of these crimes. Like, they wouldn't go out and try to do this to some beauty queen from a freaking nice little white family. They would say to themselves, hell no, they're gonna get us for this. But
yeah, he's telling the truth, but that is how it works.
Yeah.
You couldn't have got away with it. And like I said, they got caught before, and then they were able to go back to doing the same thing again. They're like, after they picked them up the first time for making them this, like I said, this whole story is unbelievable.
Is that something that we see happening though? What he just said, because when he said that, it made me think of when he said like a little white girl pageant or whatever he just said. Oh, we can't do this to her because people are gonna find out. But that is something that I have noticed though. Like, this story just swept under the rug. But when I think about stories over the years, and I think of the John Bonet story, and I think about how that was going on for like ever, and they talked about somebody coming in the house, and then they tried to say her father, but that story went on and on and on, and a lot of other stories. But then you have stories like this when it's little black children, and you have to actually have somebody send it to you or dig for this, because that's not something that people are putting out there. Like, okay, this just happened and this is sad, but our stories just go unheard. So what he just said, I agree 100%.
But see, I think the local news caught it, and that's what I was thinking. Well, this was probably a local story, and the local story didn't get out as far. But yeah, I'm a bit concerned with the spreading of the story, but at the same time, a lot of local stories don't get out. And
Yeah.
I mean, you would have to live in a state where it happened at. And
Yeah, but I know a lot of times a lot of other news outlets will start televising things like, oh, this is a big thing, and it'll be from different states, and they pick and choose. Like I said, this wasn't as important to them. If we weren't hearing about it, this wasn't that important to all those news stations. So that's sad.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Once again, usually they're affiliate, but in the society that we live in now with the internet and all the uh, all the social media things that we have that we can find out these things with. Yeah, that's what makes them more scary is because no outlet was picking this up. Also, it wasn't just the news networks. It was
Yeah.
I ain't seen no content creator do this neither.
Yeah, the only one that I saw
But when it
do it
comes
was
to,
Roland
you know,
Martin. I haven't seen nobody else, honestly.
Okay.
marginalized group of people and a historically marginalized race, on top of that, they're going to think they have free shot. And I think the saddest part about this, and I would really like for the listeners to understand this, is that I myself grew up with foster kids. My mom, my entire life, damn near, was a foster parent. And when you hear about the stories of some of these kids and the backgrounds that they come from, it's harrowing stuff. And we do need more people to step up, man, and provide safe, great homes for these young people who find themselves in, adverse situations. Like, we actually do need people to step up and help. And so, just the fact that these folks could take advantage of that need for help and do this kind of sick stuff. I would just hope that, in the future, man, the government municipality that gave these people rights to oversee the lives of these young people, they do better checks in the future. But I will say, man, these services that foster parents and, people that adopt children, they're doing some just incredible work to provide safe homes for folks. And it's definitely needed. It's just a shame that this kind of thing can come out of that.
It's just so sick. It's so sick, but it is proof.
But that's what I was saying. I think you need to investigate the people that allowed these people to get these kids because something ain't right. If they went out there and saw that living arrangement and that way everything was,
Yeah.
and nothing was, and no
something
questions.
fell through the cracks. Something fell through the cracks. I think they should investigate. When you're putting a child in someone's home, okay, you need to do an extensive investigation. And that doesn't mean because everybody could put on a fake picture of themselves. That was a whole front that they put up, okay, for when those people were investigating. What they need to do is go out in the community, talk to some neighbors. It's obviously they had some nosy neighbors that were against this. Had they had talked to their neighbors, hey, what is your neighbor's character? Are they nice people? They do that when people are trying to get into law enforcement or they're trying to have those federal jobs. They go and ask the neighbors. I've had countless times in my life where I've had people show up at my door asking about the character of the guy across the street because of a job he was trying to have. They need to do that when you're putting kids in people's homes. Hey, what is your neighbors like? Do you see them interact with their kids? Start to learn the character from the people in the community before you start throwing kids in people's homes. Because they could have told them, the neighbors could have been like, yeah, they don't like people that don't look like them. Well, I'm not going to put those kids in that household. We need to do a little bit more investigating.
Proof that while we saw, the recent story, a police officer stepping up, an anti-Karen, the woman who was serving the unhoused, and a reminder from one of our great PYT members that there are good people in this world. There's this stark contrast too, that you would actually look at a little child and see that they are put on this earth for you to use, for you to harm, for you to treat worse than you would an animal. And I don't even like that analogy. Shouldn't we treat, as a kid, I don't like insects, crickets, and stuff. I didn't want to kill them though. And maybe it's just me, okay? I have a big mouth, sure. But I have a heart, and I just have such a tough time with this. I know you're not my spiritual advisor, Woes, but I have a tough time believing that there are actual people like this without there being some kind of a chemical imbalance, not just indoctrination.
Yeah, I think part of it too is Yeah, the mental health capacities of this country, the situation that's going on with drugs, and can people get help? And we don't know. This is speculative. I don't know if these people were drug addicts, but it's just hard for me to see somebody with their sober mind, man, with any level of humanity within them, doing something this ridiculous. But I would say that I'm heartened by the vigilance of the people who reported these injustices and crimes. Shouts to those people for having the foresight and the human empathy to go out and say, you know what, this looks like some effed up stuff going on.
Sometimes
we gotta
be nosy.
We gotta make this right.
Yeah,
You are right.
Sometimes it's good to have nosy neighbors.
You're right.
You know, sometimes it's good to have nosy neighbors, because nobody, just imagine, I might have a neighbor that's like that. I might not see it, but my nosy neighbors might catch it. Hey, did you see the Jones look like they just put something long in the back of their car? Hey, it's good it's good to have nosy neighbors sometimes.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Part of your, when they go to investigate, if they talk to the neighbors. You do talk to neighbors. In that environment, you would have to talk to the neighbors as to the content of the character of the people that you're investigating. So that's what I'm saying. So with that getting through, and then them being members of the church, like I said, it sounded like it was a smoothing type deal, because they were church members, and maybe they just passed it on like it was nothing.
Yeah.
I don't know if they know. But like I said, you would have to really question how deep it is. So that's why I said I would have to investigate the people that allowed these kids to go into this home.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's deeper than what it was.
Right. And even though you're not my spiritual advisor, you just uplifted me. You did. Because there's that side of you. You
It
temper.
looks like that's the end of that. That was
That's the end of that right there, but that was a lot. It was a lot. And to take that in, that was really different. That was really, really different.
Yeah. I agree.
That was sick. It was inhuman. There was a lot of things that you could describe that
It
as.
was twisted. It was disgusting. It was sad. It was so many mixed emotions hearing that. So many different mixed emotions. And for those kids, I hope that they're getting the help that they need. That's a shame. That's a shame.
That was a bit much. And to think that there's people in this world that can still do that kind of stuff is scary. Or to even think that way.
Yeah.
The world we live in today. But like I said, we're gonna wrap that up right there. That was an interesting podcast. I can't even ask, did you enjoy it? But if you enjoyed it,
yeah. If it added value, but enjoy it. If you enjoyed it, something's wrong. But hopefully nobody enjoyed that. But no, hopefully our podcast added value. Because sometimes, or just informed you of something that you weren't aware of. But just know that there are sick people out here. So, and it's a shame.
Yes, that's it. But like I said, we're gonna end that right here. We hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you like it, like, subscribe, and share. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And leave a thumbs up in our comment section or a heart. We would appreciate that you do take in and do appreciate the work that we're doing here. Always, go ahead, say.
Can I say my piece?
Yeah, go ahead.
As always at Luke-N-SHAE'S place. And again, that video was sad, but your mental health is important. A positive mentality is a destined reality. Stay positive, wear your smile, and stay blessed. Until next time, thanks for stopping by Luke-N-SHAE'S.